Batteries can be confusing for people, so we are going to show you exactly how much we will be using in one night of camping.
The van is currently at 100%. We're going to stick a little battery monitor right down here so you can see exactly how much it takes to power whatever we're doing. If you're not familiar with our channel, well, this is our van battery, and it is a 320 amp hour lithionics battery, and it's just one big honking battery. If you look over here to the right, it's got a 2000 watt inverter, so that's what we're dealing with. But check out this fire pit. Look at that. There's only one piece of trash.
We actually get to cook outside, so that's awesome. We have some bread to do. Greg wants to try to make it into garlic bread. We'll see. We made the dough at home and brought it with us. We've got some Instapot stuff to use. Even though it's sunny and warm, it's definitely not hot enough for an AC. But we will run it tomorrow morning, about 15 minutes, just so you can see what it does to the battery. I am hungry, so I'm gonna get the Instapot out and we can start cooking some lunch. Nice thing about this site is I don't know if we're gonna have to do a lot of trash pickup. I haven't really seen any, which is a plus. I see one. The wood is not normally kept back here. We keep it in our bag on the back of the tire, but it's a little bit full. So our Instapot is in our little bench. Get that out. This is the little baby one. It's a 3 quarts and it has worked quite well. We've tested it out and works just like our big one at home. First order of business is getting that dough out so it can warm up. It is all fluffy in here. Okay, so we put it up there, let it warm up before we start cooking it. And since there is nobody out here, we do not have to put the shades up.
You probably can't hear it, but the fridge is actually running right now, and we're currently using 4 amps, but we also have solar, and so it's pretty much a wash, so we're still at 100. Next, we have to put everything back that fell off from our off-road adventures today. Although we really saw quite a few people today. They really in that sun.
Okay, so we're gonna get the pot out for some hot water. I need to dehydrate some soy curls. This little kettle is 900 watts, so we gotta plug it in. Since we are only doing a one-nighter, we brought our big Arctic jug instead of our Dominic. I always forget. And of course, we need to put our inverter on so that we always listen for the beep from the microwave. That tells us it's ready to go. Oh, there it goes. So now we can put our water on and get it boiling. This guy is pretty fast. It only takes just a little over a minute to boil. I go ahead and put that in there.
The inverter's back on. Let's get this thing sauteing. Put it in there. And as you can see, this thing's pulling 62 amps, which is a lot, especially like if we're just hanging out in here, having lights and stuff on, that's like 4 amps. That induction plate, that thing pulls almost 100 amps just by itself, which is pretty impressive, although it cooks really well. Kelly's getting the garlic ready for
garlic bread. Go look at the dough.
Oh yeah, it's all puffed up. Briquettes are starting to go. I'm just going to set this on top while they get going. So it's been going up for about 10 minutes. We burned off all the liquid.
We're just kind of winging it. We're going to pressure cook the potatoes so they get nice and soft. And put it on pressure cook. It's going for 2 minutes. And we will let it go. Let's make sure that this is a little bit different than our bigger pot. It doesn't have like the little nub on the side. It has the seal and the vent right up there. So here we go. It's been 7 minutes and it's sealed. The little nub popped up. It's only going to take 2 minutes, and then we will just let the pressure off. Spray in here. Since we're raw dogging it. No parchment paper. Oh, those briquettes are hot. it naturally released. So, got some potatoes in there. Whew, it's getting cold. We're gonna add our other things back in there, mix it around, and get it all nice and warmed up. It has easily dropped 10 degrees. The wind has picked up. It is cold. So we may actually put the heater on tonight. We'll see. Okay, since we are waiting for the bread to finish, we'll just put this back on and we'll just do keep warm.
We just got our 30-minute warning. Let's get our bread. Hopefully we didn't just completely scorch this garlic. I don't know. Who knows what's gonna be in there. Oh, that's perfect. That looks nice and roasted. We'll have to put that in a bowl and smash it up with a little bit of butter. Oh my God, it's coming out. Oh, perfect. It's perfect. It didn't stick. I'm so happy.
We're gonna do a little bit of a cheat. We're gonna do an instant rice packet, but we'll end up using the microwave. And we use our microwave as our storage for our bread. Okay, 90 seconds. So we got 1 minute, and then we're gonna add 30 seconds. We normally use the microwave for reheating leftovers or quick little items like rice and stuff. The microwave is using 116 amps, so it's definitely the biggest pull that we've seen. Normally we cook our own rice and such, but sometimes because this space is so small, it's just easier just to do the cheap way and the quick way. I'm really looking forward to that bread.
I'm still hoping the herd of elk will come rolling through, but we haven't seen any yet. We're all the way down to 52. It was at 57 like half hour ago.
It's getting cold. Definitely cold. This is what I'm most looking forward to. This, I mean, we're doing pretty good with the Dutch oven. Oh yes, and the garlic. We haven't had roasted garlic in years, and I honestly can't remember the last time we made it. So, squeeze. Oh.
Oh, it's crispy garlic.
Oh no. Oh, it's a little bit hard still. The garlic was a bit of a fail, so maybe somebody can give us some pointers on how to roast garlic. Because this isn't very much, and yeah, we'll see. We still have not gotten our bread knife, so we need to do that. Ooh. Add some butter. Golden.
This turned out to be a pretty good dinner.
It actually started as lunch, but now it's just become dinner.
We need to get a sourdough starter and just have a little bit of sourdough in here, because that's one thing that this bread doesn't have a bunch of bubbles in it.
The mundane, unfun part of being in the van is you really need to do all your dishes so that you have space. Let's get the van ready for bed. Let's put the outside lights on. We don't need privacy, but it is gotten really cold. It's actually down to 45 right now. So we're gonna shut up the blinds. And then over here, keep that heat in. I think we're actually gonna put the heat on for a little bit, but let's get the bed ready. I think we're gonna watch a movie first, but let's get our setup done. And we really don't conserve lights when we're out and about. So the bed easily moves down with a touch of a button. I just have to remake it though. Made the bed. Not the prettiest, but you know, it's a small space. So I've got my quilt and then I've got my comforter under there. And then we now have Greg's quilt and his comforter.
Get this heat.
Get this heat turned on.
We're full on chill mode now, just watching some movies. So today's been pretty good. We've only used about 12% of the battery, which is hardly any.
We are finally getting up out of bed. It was pretty cold this morning. It actually got down to 37 degrees, but we ended up turning the heater off because it stayed pretty warm inside. We are actually pulling in 5.3 amps right now. We ended up using about, I guess I should turn those lights off. We ended up using down to 78%. Before we have breakfast, we actually are going to turn on the heater so that Greg can warm up, so we get some water warmed up. We don't need actually the heater to come out, just the water to be warm. But take a look outside. It is lovely out here. It's still a little bit windy, kind of brisk, but it is nice. It actually says that it is 50 degrees out.
You can see the water is actually heating up already, but the interesting thing is even with all this, the lights on, the heaters running and everything, we're just totally even with power because we're pulling in almost 6 amps, but we're kind of a wash right now. Let's get a little bit of airflow going in here since it's actually nice out. Open that. Now the shower's done, we got to turn on the fan. That actually dries out this section here, probably, I don't know, hour or two. First order of business is to eat some of this bread. I want to say that we did a number on this thing last night. You can see this is this is all we have left. Not much, although it does require butter. Then we'll get a real breakfast. This is first breakfast. Delicious. We also need to make some coffee and tea. Kelly likes tea. I think tea tastes like mud puddle water. We just use this little kettle, and it actually just gets just enough water to do both cups for Kelly and myself. Inverter. Man, we're still pulling in 6 amps of solar. This is like the first time we've had solar in months. Although this is a pretty good spot for it. There's no trees blocking the view. Tea bag. Yeah, I'm not a coffee connoisseur. I just like the taste of coffee with a lot of chocolate. And it's decaf, I know. I'm not a real coffee person. Here comes the judging, right? You can tell. Escapes. We listen, we don't judge. So they just... Even though it's nice outside, or it looks nice outside, the wind is quite howling out there. So it's actually kind of cold. So we're gonna, our outside rug actually ended up almost going off the cliff there. But, so we're gonna cook inside. You guys probably can't hear the wind, but it's like actually rocking. Well, if you look out there, you can see the trees are going. Hopefully there won't be any new trees down on our way in. There was a significant number of trees down on the road. We have a little chainsaw, but it's, you know, the blade's only that big, so we can only cut so big of trees. The Revel came with a induction stove that used to fit in here, and it took the entire, it was huge, it took the entire drawer. So we picked up this little guy here. It's just tiny, and it works really well. It goes from, the cool thing is you can go from 600 watts to 900 or to 1300. And sometimes when your battery voltages get low, like your battery is down under half, sometimes the inverter complains about not wanting to do a higher voltage or higher power, which is nice because then you can ramp this down if you want to. We actually ran this on our Blue Eddy once. It completely drained it dry, but it ran it for a little while. Let's go medium high. It's time for everybody's favorite, testing the AC, which I don't know why, but everybody wants to run AC off batteries. It's a bad idea, but it works. First, we need this AC is not 12 volts, so we have to run our inverter. And we do have an app for it though. So you can do fan, let's do cool high. If you are going to run your AC off of batteries, just make sure that your AC has the soft start mechanism in it, and that way it doesn't pull so much amperage that it blows everything up. We're sitting here freezing our butts just for you. But this reminds me of when we were kids, we used to ride the bus and then somebody would yell freeze out, usually the older kids in the back of the bus. Somebody yelled freeze out, and then everybody would immediately roll down all the windows. It'd be like 40 degrees, this big giant school bus going down the road with every single window down. AC test is over. We went from 71% all the way down to 66% in a little over 10 minutes. And you can see it pulls a ton of power, almost the same as, well, basically the same as much as our induction cooktop. So if you're gonna run AC, you're gonna need a lot of batteries.
We've been driving for 30 minutes and our battery is up to 89% already. So as you can see with a big alternator, just a little bit of driving can get you right up to 100% pretty quickly. Hopefully that gives you some tips on some battery usage. Thanks for joining us. You can go check out this video next. You can find us at exploretrekadventure.com and we'll see you next time.